That's all you got to know. But we're going to take our first question right now. This one's from Gav, and it's an important question. And it's, why does the order of adjustments matter when setting up blitzes? So I think that there's multiple reasons why they matter, but we'll head into game and kind of talk about it real quick. So when you're setting up a blitz, a lot of the best blitzes have different setups. So we can talk about that and kind of why it's important, but there's basically three big reasons why when you set up a blitz, you want to have the importance down. So the importance of the order, like in your head. The number one reason that you want to have the blitz timing down is when you're playing an actual online game. So if you're in practice mode, the camera doesn't flip. But if you're in a game, the camera is going to come out on the offense and it's going to slowly turn around. You're trying to find your guys that you want to control, and things are crazy. Your opponent's probably trying to quick snap you. So the first steps we always teach you with a blitz is to shift the linemen or crash them. So if we have a blitz here like you see on the screen and you have to say spread your line to get the blitz to work and you got to crash them down. So Gibbs has just done those two commands, and he did those he can do them without looking at the screen. And he doesn't need the camera to be this way to get onto a guy and move it. So the reason we teach you to do the defensive line first is because that's important, and you can do it while the camera's flipping and rotating.
Yes.
Super important. Number two reason is just become a creature of habit. The more and more you set up your blitz, whether it's baseline or pressing, you need to make sure that, you're going to continually know how to do it in every situation. That is the importance of repetition and the importance of setting it up the same way every time. It's not like one time you're going to spread the line and then crash it down, and then one time you're going to crash the line down and then spread it, because that's not a consistent thing. I mean, do some setups, do some fake setups. You'll hear it. You'll hear the rhythm of the controller of what it takes to make adjustments, and it can be pretty challenging. The last reason is we do it in order of effectiveness. So to get a blitz set up, it takes, say, 3 steps. You have to crash your line, pinch him down, and then spread a guy wide. Say that's the 3 steps it takes to have the minimum dosage effect of a blitz coming in. Well, this was the minimum dose effect. It took 3 steps. So if you're getting quick snapped or something's happened. But say you can make your blitz even better by manning up the slot with the hook zone. Say you want to man up Chancellor with Jarius Wright. Yeah, you want to do that. So say that's the 4th step, but it's not super important. You don't want to do that step first, but then not have your pressure get in. So you want to make sure that the order is by effectiveness. So okay, I know I need these 3 steps to work, but there's 3 other steps I could do if I want. So that is the importance of sending a blitz and why you set it up the same every way. Rhythm, the camera specifically, and the actual button adjustments, and then lastly, the minimum dosage of effect to get it to work is something that's super important when you set up your blitz as well. You need to make sure that it's going to actually work before you start making adjustments that aren't going to work. So if you just man this guy up, man that guy up, and start doing the last part of your setup, but you don't ever fix the defensive line, then it might not come in. See, now it's not even going to come in at all, and now, okay, we had the guy manned up, but it didn't matter. So anything else you'd like to add to that?
Nailed it.
Important.
Nailed it.
Because people, they get intimidated by setups, but they're really not that hard once you get them down.
Right. The most important thing I got there of why we do it the way we do is about the first, I would say, 5 seconds from when the play call screen, you pick your play, and you go out, and then you're going to make your adjustments on the actual game screen. You don't, like, players are moving around and getting in position, so it's really hard to click over to guys and spy him, then do this, and etc. Right? Now, the other important part is a lot of times, a lot of blitzes require crash of the line down, crash of the line up. Okay. Now, guess what would happen if I set this blitz up to get in, right? I base a line, I press, okay, and then I'm like, okay, I know I want to drop coverage on the right side of this play. I spy, man up, and I zone him out. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot, I gotta crash my line down. Uh-oh.
Yep, it undoes your adjustments.
Right. Now I screwed up my other adjustments to make my coverage better. So it's really important that you do it in the order that we suggest for all the guys that do have the winner's kit. We don't put it in a random order just to put it in a random order. We put it in the order of which is going to be Most importantly, we'll get the pressure in most consistently, followed by then coverage off of it. So
Yes.
that's how the order of it goes.
Right, and the more it's almost like a level of a video game. If there's 7 setups to make it the ultimate blitz, as long as you do the first 3 of them, you're good. But if you can get to the next 2 to make it 5 setups, then you're really doing well. And then if you can get the last 2 in, those are only going to enhance your coverage. When I do my run defense, I don't make as many adjustments as Sgibs. He's more advanced. I just like to get it to a certain level and then leave it and slowly adjust as the game goes on once I'm comfortable. So that's the importance of setting up your blitz.
Right, and Yukon Man 222 in the chat, he's saying, well, then just leave the crashing then. Well, the whole point is, yes, you leave the crashing, but we want to be able to then go back and say, I don't need Mebane and Bennett here for the blitz, so I'm going to crash the line first, then I'm going to go and then drop them into coverage, because now I have better coverage. Why do I need the weak side? Like, so if I ran the blitz like this, right? Let's take a look at this right here. This is why we do it, right? If I run the blitz like this, you snap and go, that pressure is going to come in, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now if you want to take your game to the next level, if you want to be a better player, then you can't say, oh, well, that's good enough. It's never good enough. It's never good enough, okay? You always need to try and get it to the next level. How can I make it come in with as few blitzers as possible? So now the next thing you would do is you drop Bennett into a spy. Will that come in? Snap of the ball. Oh, look, it comes in. Okay, so now you have a better blitz because it's got better coverage.
Now you don't need Bennett there. So you're getting killed by slants across the middle. You can't stop it. What do? Well, you maybe man up Bennett on the slot, and maybe that helps shut it down over the middle. And that's something that can be effective. Maybe you put him in a hook, and maybe he drops over the middle and causes trouble.
So that time, look, we dropped the inside D tackle, and then we dropped the outside defensive end. Now we got better coverage. So that's the whole point. You don't just settle, okay? And this is something that I always get on your case about.
Yeah.
What do I always say?
Don't have lazy setups.
Don't have lazy setups, because it's so easy when you're playing less competition to just go like this. I'm never gonna need the 8th setup that Sgibs provides me because no one's ever ready for it. I'm just gonna send 6 every time.
Right.
Well, guess what? You're gonna run into someday when someone says, I know what you're doing and I'm gonna beat it, and then you're gonna need that 7th setup someday, and that's when you're either gonna win or you're gonna lose based on that setup.
And when you lose and you had the setup in your pocket but you never practiced it because you didn't think you'd need it and you didn't put in the work, you're gonna be upset with yourself. Because I've been there, and then you say, all right, that's never going to happen to me again, and that's when you truly can become a better player.
Remember that game? You talked about it recently, the past couple of weeks, that game where
you busted out a CB Blitz. That's like the 7th setup in the winner's kit of the 5th Blitz combo that we've given, and all of a sudden it worked on the last play of the game. 4th and 7, you got the throwaway, and it's like...
He didn't get his throwaway. He got a sack.
Yeah, it's like, how did you know how to get that in? It's like, I wait. It's like Chuck Norris. He doesn't sleep, he waits.
I just wait.
And that's what's important. But if you had just said, I'll send the same blitz I've sent the last 5 times that he's caught on to, that's, maybe it would have been good enough, but it probably wouldn't have been. So that's what's important. All right, here we go.